Hi, my name is Dr. Josh Omandi, and I want to discuss about the the Building Bridges Initiative in Kenya, called BBI. Is it just a quick fix? Can it solve Kenya's problems? As much as they underlie the problems in Kenya, would it really solve what is really in the offing in Kenya? Now, the Building Bridges Initiative formed a task force, and which are to tackle very important issues: divisive elections, corruption, ethnic antagonism and competition, lack of national ethos, inclusivity, devolution, safety and security, shared prosperity, and responsibilities and rights. Well, they look very good issues to be addressed, and if they will really be addressed, then they will make the country good. But what does it matter? Is it that we have not addressed these issues before? Okay, President Kenyatta said that he wants to create greater openness, transparency, freedom of speech, adding that Kenya wants a future to be one where politics is based on an agenda and not on tribe or religion. Well, he said that we will be able to create a system and style of politics where people will say, we do not want to be dragged back to tribal politics. That is the president who say that. But then, we have had all of presidents, from the founding President Jomo Kenyatta to Moi to Kibaki and anything else. But nothing has changed. Why is it that every election we erupt into violence? For sure, for all the 9 issues, I only say that the only one we need to address first, foremost, is corruption. Corruption is the major. All of these other issues circle around corruption. Actually, it's like a flywheel. So the major flywheel is corruption. Then we have the other smaller wheels going around. You know, it's basically like we do the flywheel. You can see the flywheel there: corruption, ethnic antagonism, election. So this is how the flywheel works. The flywheel works, basically what it does is that as corruption, if it's corruption spreads to election, conducting of election, then if the election people are not satisfied with the election results, then there will be ethnic antagonism. And then the other issues arise. So we really don't need a referendum. We really don't need even a BBI initiative. We could have just worked this one out here if we solve this monster we call corruption. Corruption in election. Then when things are not okay, it goes to ethnic antagonism. Simply, it's just, it's basically I'm using the flywheel in a transmission. Like, you can see all of those components of the flywheel is like, when one rotates, they have to be in alignment. So if the bigger flywheel is not working well, then it will cause the transmission to break down. And that's what's actually happening in Kenya. That if we have to fix this, because it will break all of the other wheels and we will just be doomed. And this is where I bring what we call the double loop learning. You know, I mean, this is simply from organizations. We use it in organizations. But why the double loop learning? And I'm given there are 2, a single loop learning. So Kenya has all the time we have been using a single loop learning. You see, in a single loop learning, you just get a quick fix. Just for example, a thermostat. Simply, it is set on a certain temperature. That if the temperature lowers this, set on the heat to come on. So once the temperature comes that, it sets it on, it takes the action, the consequence, the room becomes warm, and that's it. It's a match and it goes. If it's not a mismatch, you don't know what to do. How about if the thermostat is not functioning? It will not work. So, this is how Kenya has suffered for many years doing single loop planning. The first thing, after the agitation of multi-party, in 1991, Section 2A was repealed. Everybody celebrated that now multi-party has been allowed in. They forgot that the president remained to choose the referees for the game. So the president was the one choosing the electoral commissioners. And that is what happened. The election was rigged and whatever. Then they came in 1997. Then they agitated, they said, no election, no reforms, no election. No reform, no election. They wanted a constitutional change. But Moi did not do it. At the last minute, he brought in what we call IPPG, Inter-Party Parliamentary Group, which was formed in then they brought some small piecemeal changes. This is where they allowed to expand the number of commissioners, and they allowed other parties to choose the commissioners. So they thought, oh, they celebrated. What happened? Then after 1997, let come 2002, Kibaki wins the election. In 2007, he single-handedly picked the commissioners. He forgot about the IPPG and formed and chose the commissioners himself. When they were crying, they said, oh, that was a gentleman agreement. They never put it into law. That was why it was a single law planning. So it didn't do anything. It was just a quick fix like a thermostat. And that is where Kenya erupted again during the election. The election was stolen, and then there was post-election violence. So, then what happened after that? We went ahead and changed the constitution. When we changed the constitution, the 2010 constitution, now, did we fix all the problems? Now, that is where actually after the 2018 election, still election manipulation has always been in Kenya. We thought we have gone in for technology, but election, it has been our claim that the election has been stolen in Kenya. Now the BBI is one of the single loop. It was aimed, the BBI, it was a band-aid. Kenya was going into chaos because Uhuru was the president. Raila also was sworn in as a people's president. Kenya was heavily divided. So they brought it quickly as a quick fix to have one Kenya. But what is happening now? Then we formed the BBI. Is it just another quick fix? Is it going to solve the long-term problems of Kenya? Really? Do we need a constitutional change? Already we have anti-corruption body. What have they done with all this corruption going on? So, we have to go to the double loop planning, and we have to address corruption easily, quickly and deeply in Kenya. Let us face the facts and let us tell ourselves. Corruption has gone beyond in that country. So if we will do that, and then we do election reforms. Election reforms have to be conducted because, like now, let us face the truth. In 2017, before the election, Muzando, who was the acting ICT director, was brutally murdered a few days to election, which necessitated the recall of James Muhati, who was the director, who was on suspension for misconduct, to come and head the election. Nothing has been investigated so far. Those are the questions the handshake should have asked. We need to tell ourselves the truth. How did Musando die? We have to face these facts, and that would be a double loop learning, that we will have to ask ourselves why Musando was killed, and then what happened. The Supreme Court, during the election petition, ordered opening of the servers, election servers, to know if opposition claim of system manipulation was done. But it was never opened, not even now. The really building bridges initiative, it is to ask ourselves tough questions. What went wrong, so that we don't repeat it? We cannot just bury it. Actually, if you listen, just a pause to listen to a clip from what Akombe had said.
She had only served at the commission for 9 months until her surprise resignation on the morning of 18th of October 2017 from New York, USA. 13 days later, she sent a 93-page report to her former boss, Wafula Chebukati, calling it end of assignment report. In the document, Akombe gave a detailed account of what, in her view, ailed the commission that adversely affected the credibility of the 2017 general election and repeat presidential election. Top on the list were key procurement decisions made especially on the election technology and ballot papers, as well as the power conflicts between IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati and CEO Ezra Chiloba. For instance, Akombe accuses Chiloba of keeping commissioners and the chair in the dark on procurement contracts that were only communicated to them last minute when they had no choice but to approve. She says that Chiloba and ICT Director James Muhati conspired to handle election technology procurement in secrecy, adding that the dominance of Safran Oti Morpho, the company that supplied Kim's kits and facilitated the electronic results transmission, ought to be investigated on their role in the 2017 election. She specifically points out to the events at the Bomas of Kenya on the night of August 8th, when presidential results ceased to stream at 8:30 for 3 hours with no explanation from IEBC staff and Safran Oti Morpho consultants. She wonders why the margin between Kenyatta and Odinga remained consistent after resumption of transmission. And she says, quote, "It is such situations that will forever leave questions in my mind of what actually happened on August 8th. The former commissioner further accusing Chiloba of scheming to have his way majorly on procurement decisions. She specifically accused Chiloba and senior IEBC staff of deliberately delaying the procurement of ballot papers despite the first case against IEBC decision being filed in February 2017. She says that Chiloba ensured no progress was made until there was little time left, forcing the commission to settle on direct procurement with a tender going to Dubai-based Al Ghurair publishing and printing firm, despite objection by the opposition alliance NASA. Akombe saying, quote, "Time was used as a way of tying our hands to take the decision that the CEO had wanted from the beginning." End of quote.
Just suppose. Okay. Now, Akombe had recommended, with all of the things, was there anything done to Akombe's report, the 93-page document? End of assignment? Nah, it has just been put on the blanket. If we Kenyans, we want really to save our country without learning, Akombe reports need to be investigated. This was a person who was in the commission, and they raised very important issues, and actually recommended that an independent commission of inquiry to investigate the 2017 election. That's his recommendation. I think that should be what should be done instead of collecting all these views we have done. He recommended scrapping the CEO position and establish an executive chairman and give the chairman veto powers, because some of the commissioners are already bipartisan the way they have been chosen, which brings us to lack of ethos. So if we can address election corruption not only in election, we address corruption. If we do away with corruption, then we have a free and fair election. And the other things will just come. It's my take, and I would want to hear your comments. Thank you. Hi, my name is Josh Omandi, CEO, Managing Broker, Soft Landing Real Estate Services. We are located in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. We are a real estate company, and we serve the Twin Cities area and ETC environs. We provide services for sellers who want to sell homes and buyers who want to buy homes. Our excellent service speaks for itself. We have been in business for more than 18 years, serving metro area customers. If you want to buy a home or sell a home, feel free to call on us. We are member of National Association of Realtors, Minnesota Association of Realtors, and Minneapolis Association of Realtors. You will not be disappointed with our services. We promise our motto, we land you home softly. Thank you.